is going on to the AMC stock family? In today's video, without wasting too much time in the introduction, we will be talking about interest rates and how they directly affect AMC, new hedge funds that just bought over $200,000 worth of AMC stock, and analysts and their new ratings for AMC, and historical data that just came in. Now, we will also, last but not least, debriefing the earnings and talk about both the fundamentals and the technicalities of a stock. And I know that sounds like a lot, but that is because it is a lot. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys share this video with your fellow AMC holders so that many people can understand this and so that there can be less paper hands. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about some historical data in terms of interest rates. So these are the median sale prices in all Redfin metros. Now, Redfin is amazing because they really compile all this data for us. Very simple and very easy, and it really shows a deviation from what happened in prior years. And this has been sort of abnormal just because this has never really happened before. Now, this trend, so over here we have 2021, we have 2020, and then we have 2019 and 2018. Now, this is housing market data, but this also relates to AMC because as a lot of houses decide to go up, that usually reflects how the market will do. Now, this is otherwise known as a direct correlation or a direct relationship with the equities market. However, it's not always like this. And especially in the beginning of 2021, so that February time zone, that's really when a lot of stocks started to go up extremely high. And what do you know? A lot of houses, let's go over here to the February data all the way in 2021. If I'm not mistaken, that is exactly when the data from this chart shows that linear progression all the way to the upside. And if I'm trying to be exact, it would actually be around late January, but you guys understand the point. And so over here, February 1st of 2021, you can see that the median sale price for homes were about $317,000. And then if you were to go all the way to the peak really shows that the median sale price increased all the way to $359,000. Now, it did have a little bit of a decline, and actually you may even say that the median highest sale price would be $360,000 all the way throughout this chart over here, or this linear regression. However, if we go just a little bit lower, we can see that it actually had a climax, and then after that it started to go down just a little bit because we had a little bit of a stagnation all the way from June, and then this does continue all the way throughout July, and then we decided to go down, as I just stated, because this was the climax, this was the highest, this was the top. And then we go a little bit down, and we see that we actually do follow a lot of these other trends. And so 2020 was a little bit of an interesting year, so I'm actually going to remove this chart over here, and then as you can see, it really does show a correlation, and it really does happen at around the same time. So houses tend to go up again from that February time zone, and that is also when the markets decide to go up, and that is exactly what happened with the equities market. Now, take a look at this. At the same time that housing prices decide to fall, that's usually what the trend shows. However, over here we see that instead of continuing in 2021, we are seeing that it is starting to go up. Now, what does this mean in terms of the equities market? We're going to be debriefing that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that this is unusual because this doesn't really happen ever before. In terms of 2018 and 2019, we can see over here that it usually decides to have a little bit of a stagnation. It usually continues to have a little bit of a stagnation all the way from 2018 and 2019, but over here, 2021 is a little bit of a different year because we are already starting to trend upwards, and actually the median household price right now is $357,000. They're not too far from the highs of the high of $360,000. And again, if this doesn't make a lot of sense right now, it will in just a bit. Right now, all we're trying to do is understand the best news for AMC. And so if we see that the real estate market is starting to go up, that usually has a direct correlation with the equities market. And so if real estate is slowly but surely starting to go up, that could hint that the equities market is about to do the same. Now, AMC is also part of the equities market, so if you put two and two together, that could indicate an increase for the AMC equity price. Now, over here, I want to bring your attention to the institutional investors because here is where the 200,000, or I should say over 200,000 shares came in for AMC stock. Now, this isn't even the amount of money invested, this is just the share price. So if you would like to find the dollar amount invested, or the actual amount, then you would have to multiply the amount of shares times the average share price, which it tells you right over here. So the average share price of Manufacturers Life Insurance Company on November 12th of 2021, very recently, it's actually on the same day today. So the average share price that they have is $47.37. Now, with this data compiled, they also were able to understand that they have a total of 262,395 shares. Absolutely phenomenal, and this indicates that the dollar amount invested is actually extremely high just for this one company. And why are they buying it on November 12th of 2021? That means, and that indicates that they have some sort of conviction in this one equity. This is not call options, these are not put options, because if we go just a little bit lower, and actually we're going to go all the way down to about August 16th, because I believe that is when Citadel actually placed their call options, their put options for AMC, we can understand that, again, these are equity shares, these are not options. Options are very different because we don't know if they are actually buying it for the long-term side or if they are trying to hedge themselves for the selling side. There were actually a lot of hedge funds that decided to release their 13F filings on August 16th, So this may take a little bit of a while. However, I believe that we are not too far. We are right over here. So on August 16th of 2021, Citadel Advisors LLC, we can see that they have put options. I'm not exactly sure how many put options they have because this would be locked. However, in terms of the share amount, their average price was $33.45. Now, again, we do not know if this is for the long side or the selling side, but their total amount of shares would be 136,003 shares. So if you multiply this by this number, then that would give you the dollar amount or the total amount actually invested for this one position. If we go all the way up, then we exactly know that we have one new hedge fund, one new company. They are for the long side because they just decided to invest over $200,000 in the actual investment, the dollar amount investment for AMC Entertainment, which I also believe many individuals do not know about. So here it is, everyone. Again, just one more time, we have a new 13F filing. It is very ironic because there have been more haters for the AMC stock company. More people are saying that this stock should be worth $7, $5, even $1 per share. Yet you just have one new company. And again, they won't tell you this, but this is why we have 13F filings in the first place. And this list right over here, $47.37 as the average share price, with the total amount of shares being 262,395 shares. So again, I would count this as absolutely good news for the AMC stockholders. And yes, you heard that right. There are individuals who believe that AMC stock should be worth $7, $5, and even $1 per share. Over here, we have AMC Entertainment price target predictions and analyst ratings. Now, this is the average or consensus price target, $6.10. This would indicate an 84.75% downside from the current price. And over here, we have the highest price target being $16 per share. The average of the consensus is again $6.10, and the lowest price target, which I just mentioned, $1 per share. Yes, these are actually what investors believe in, and so that is why it's very difficult right now for the AMC investors to have a lot of conviction, which is again why it is so important that you share these videos with your fellow AMC holders, because many individuals would try to bring down the AMC movement. They do not want a lot of resiliency in the movement because they have numbers like this: $1, $6.10, and even $16 as the highest price target. And some individuals, they do decide to paper hand because they simply do not have enough conviction. Now over here, we can see an insane deviation with the AMC share price and the target by a lot of these investors. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as we can see, going to more months, going to longer time zones, we can see that we go to July, for example, of 2021. The average share price was $51.16 for this month, whereas the investor's price target was $5.20. And what I want to get at right over here, because I'm not going to end up reading all these price targets versus the actual share price, which would indicate an insane amount of deviation. The main point that I want to emphasize right now is that I think that the AMC stock family is not going to let this stock go down. Even with the earnings, which we will be talking about the earnings in just a few seconds, even with the earnings, it was not enough to take this stock down. Many of you guys understood that AMC fell to about $36 a share just around the time of earnings. Now, what exactly happened right after earnings? The stock went all the way back up to $40 a share. This is what you call resiliency, and again, we're going to be talking about this much more. And then you can also see a month-to-month investor target zone. So I believe over here in the September 1st of 2019, we get a lot of buy signals, right? 8 buy signals versus 3 holds and 0 sells. With the state of the economy, it really didn't help AMC that much. And then this really did turn. The sentiment did turn for a lot of these investors. They go from 8 buys all the way to 0 buys and 4 sells all the way November 12th of 2021. Now, very quickly, before we go on to our next point of data, I would like to talk about how on November 4th of 2021, again, very recent data, Wedbush actually decided to downgrade AMC, going from $7.50 for their neutral position to $5.44 as their underperformed position, or their underperformed target price. And this would also indicate an 81.61% downside from the current price of AMC. We can also see that this is a pattern that repeats all the way for a lot of these other investors, a lot of these other firms, and a lot of these other companies, going from downgrade, downgrade, and then one of them actually decides to boost the price target, more downgrade, lower the price target, a reiterated rating, which would also indicate a holding position, so no buy side, no sell side, and then last but not least, a lower price target. This is all the way from June 30th of 2020 all the way to November 4th of 2021. Basically similar sentiments, and this is usually very negative. And now last but not least, we will be talking about the technicalities of AMC as I mentioned earlier on in the video. So if you go all the way over here, I do believe that right now AMC has broken the chart. I do believe that we are right now in a new zone, and it is going to be very important that we do not end up going back below the zone. Now, what exactly is this zone? So this zone will be labeled right over here, and this is because we ended up breaking this zone not once, not twice, but actually 3 times right over here. So not once over here, not twice over here. We didn't end up breaking it, and then not a third time, but we did end up breaking it right over here, right in time for the earnings. And we did have a little bit of a breakout all the way above, all the way for the earnings, as I just mentioned, ending up trading below. And then we ended up going all the way back up. So this was actually the below candle on November 11th of 2021. And now we are just above trading. And this is a confirmation that we are above trading because this represents a candlestick and not the candle wick. They are two different components. Now all we need to do, and again, this is easier said than done, but we need to make sure that we do not end up falling below the zone again, because that would indicate that we have a lot of weakness and it's going to take more time for AMC to have another breakout. So with that being said, AMC stock family, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.